Behind the Scene with David Bedein. Today, May 12th, 2021, the entire state of Israel is under attack. Why is that happening? How is that happening? It's happening because in Gaza, there are 9 large refugee camps, which comprise 82% of the population in Gaza. And what's happening is that these refugee camps think that they're going to go back to where they came from in 1948. They've been held in refugee camps under the premise and promise of what they call the right of return. And they've come to use the term right of return by force of arms. And that's what's going on here. When you have in schools in our agency, and you'll see it at IsraelBehindTheNews.com or owner-monitor.com, you'll see what we've been chronicling the last 30 years, which is that the people who live in the refugee camps think they're going back, and they think they can get back, if it's not by natural means, then by military means. And the places they were attacking, as they attacked them, and as it appears on Palestine Liberation Organization Radio, also known as the PBC, Palestine Broadcast Corporation, what you're hearing is each time there's an attack on Ashdod, Ashkelon, Beersheba, and Tel Aviv, they use the Arabic name, and they say, we've attacked there, we were liberated. And it's very interesting. All over the world, there's an understanding, whether it's a correct understanding or not, I'm not going to get into that. But there's an understanding that what the Palestinian Arabs want, what the PLO wants, is Judea, Samaria, and Gaza, West Bank and Gaza. However, something very interesting happened in my own work when in 1996 I interviewed Yasser Arafat, the head of the Palestine Liberation Organization, and I said, well, what's the status of people who live in places like Efrat, Gush Etzion, Hebron? So you can stay where you are. But if you were from Ramla or Lud, you'd have to leave. In other words, trying to explain that there's 2 different kinds of settlements. The settlements which are just settlements, or the ones which replaced Arab villages. Let's go back to what's happening today. 1,000 rocket attacks hit Israel today. 6 people were killed, and an untold amount of people have been injured. An untold amount of people are going through a serious situation of shock, going through a situation of trauma, post-trauma, current trauma. We're not sure how to define it yet because the trauma is going on. And these attacks are dominating the news every hour on the hour. There's new attacks, and it's interesting, whereas in the past, you would see all these red alerts appear on the TV, on the radio. That's not appearing. It is in the local places where it's happening. I myself was in the middle of Jerusalem on Jerusalem Day, which was on Monday, at 5:30 in the afternoon when an attack took place, and everyone ran away, and it was very, very, very surreal. In the middle of Jerusalem, there will be an announcing a rocket attack. Rockets did fall in a place that is near Jerusalem. At this point, it's still not for publicity where it fell. And basically, the thought is that this is going to continue for quite a while. Now, how does the Palestinian Arabs have the tenacity to continue these kind of attacks? Well, in the UNRWA camps, we have an agency, that is, you'll see our agency's website, IsraelBehindTheNews.com. We've made 24 films inside the UNRWA camps. When we show up, our crew shows up, we say, do you have anything like military training, children under arms? Sure. And there's no problem showing thousands of children who are going through weapons training and who are ready to, as they put it, to liberate Palestine. Now, what's important to understand is that over the years, the missiles firing on Israel have been fired from the grounds of the Palestinian refugee camps run by UNRWA. Now, that's illegal according to international law to use a UN facilities for such purpose, but it's been going on for quite a while. And they show no chances of changing in any way, shape, or form. All I can say is the most important thing to understand is that the people who live in the refugee camps, they're a small minority amongst the Palestinian Arabs, but they're the ones who are dictating the agenda, who are controlling the situation, and certainly communicating to the media. So that they're not talking again about a West Bank state, they're talking about all of Palestine, returning to all of Palestine, which is why all of Palestine, now called Israel, is now under attack. This is David Bedein reporting. Behind the Scene with David Bedein. I'll be reporting also on Thursday night to give you an update in terms of what's flying, because we don't know how this is being picked up abroad. We know certain television stations that often cover Israel are hardly at all covering Israel right now for whatever reason. By the way, the economy has gone to a halt. Even the airport was closed down yesterday. I'm not sure if it was renewed or not renewed, but that was because there was an attack right near the Israel's one international airport. Reporting, this is David Bedein reporting behind the scenes with David Bedein. Thank you.